everyday carry within your vehicle, whether it's a truck, an SUV, or a sedan or car, sports car, motorcycle, whatever you got going on, is it super important for you to make sure that everything is organized inside of your vehicle? I hope so, because everyday carry kind of goes beyond the stuff that's on your body, the stuff that's in your pockets, the stuff that's in your backpack, etc., etc. It also kind of has to do with the stuff inside your vehicle. I believe that the ecosystem inside your vehicle can be very, very critical to making sure you have everything that you need. I've already talked about before how I do a primary, secondary, tertiary loadout in my vehicle. Today, we're gonna talk about the Builtright Industries ecosystem and why I love it for my everyday carry, why you might wanna consider it as well, whether that's your truck bed or your trunk or your hatchback or whatever. Can it be further organized? I have a solution that I like, and I'm going to present it to you today, and maybe you want to consider it as well. All right, so first things first, welcome to the trash dump, the place of glory. But for me personally, I'm a big fan of organization for your vehicle, because you never know when something's kind of gonna be in your way. Case in point, I'm here at the trash dump getting rid of a bunch of crap from the house, and of course there is all sorts of stuff that is technically kind of in my way. So here's my first thing, is I do have the Builtright Industries side rail panel to go in the back of your truck. I'll show you what that looks like once I get all this crap out the way. Having something always at the ready makes a lot of sense. With this Builtright Industries setup, I'm able to throw stuff away, go to the dump and stuff like that, and just keep stuff always ready to go, which is probably my favorite part, because I was able to load this entire truck up full of crap at the ready, just kind of ready to rock and roll. And I didn't have to worry about moving anything. I could just literally keep stuff where I wanted it to. These are the side rail panels that you can buy for a bunch of individual trucks. They have a lot of stuff for American-made trucks, for the GMCs of the world, Ford, I think Toyota and stuff like that. But look at that, just able to throw stuff back here and have no issues whatsoever. So the biggest thing with the actual Builtright Industries, which makes me such a big fan of it, is that it just keeps everything all ready to go. I've talked about all my storage solutions when it comes to the truck bed in my full EDC tour. I'll link that video for you guys down below. But now my everyday carry items are nice and organized, just like I need them to be, always at the ready to go. And so, of course, if you don't have a bunch of emergency equipment on there, you could also have your kids' stuff. Basically, everything kind of just always ready to go. And I like that. Same thing over here. This allows for me to keep my emergency equipment. So I have my Pelican BX50 here, which has all of my quick roadside emergency type of equipment if I need to grab stuff out of there. We've talked about that before. A couple of stuff right there in the middle, still plenty of room. And then my BX80, which has all my tools in it. Either one of those can be taken out very easily, but it's all because of the Builtright Industries side panels for the rear of my truck are the basis for this loadout, which makes it work so seamlessly. The actual install of these Builtright Industries side panels, I will link that video up. I've done a nice long install video for these. Another thing about having really good organization in your vehicle is that if you come in situations where you forgot something, you know your center console is nice and organized. I'm here at Harbor Freight grabbing some shop towels, and I realized I forgot cash and I don't want to use my card. Well, Builtright Industries coming through. I have my little alpaca zip here, and inside of here I keep emergency cash just in case I need it. But that's because of this entire Builtright system. That's the biggest thing, is like having a well-organized EDC loadout allows for you to have little knickknacks like that at the ready. This is one of the secret hidden gems when it comes to finding more EDC storage in your vehicle. A lot of vehicles nowadays have slots and pockets and stuff like that. But if you have an older vehicle or even a newer vehicle that just has underneath your actual armrest this wasted space where there's nothing here at all, I highly recommend the tech panel or the tech plate from Builtright Industries. Now, full disclosure, Builtright sent this out to me, but I don't owe them any content. And I'm deciding just to show you guys how to install this. I'm going to uninstall it just so I can reinstall it to show you guys how this thing gets set up. But mine is basically set up. This is my primary area of my vehicle. So I talked about this before. In my full EDC vehicle, I have a primary, a secondary, and a tertiary setup when it comes to the way that I EDC stuff. Primary is anything I can touch while I'm in the driver's seat in the vehicle. Those are things I want to be able to get to quickly. Secondary are things where I have to unsnap my seatbelt. Maybe if I'm in a parking lot, I can grab it in the back seat. Tertiary is all the things that's in the bed of my truck. In this case, if I'm in another vehicle, it would be the trunk or something like that. So this is my primary area. Talk about what's on here real quick. I do have the alpaca. This is the Metro pouch I picked up not too long ago. This just keeps extra stuff just in case I were to ever forget my actual EDC knife or anything. Super rare, probably would never happen. But in here, I do have a little Civivi Elementum that I would just be able to use and pull out and ready to rock and roll. A Leatherman Skeletal. So we have that as well. And then we have the bits that go with the Leatherman Skeletal. So you can use those on the fly. I have a flashlight in here. So this is a Coast Portland. This is a G22 flashlight. Very down and dirty, easy to use. And then I have a small pry bar, the Big Griffin pocket tool. This is, I think, the standard size. Never use this thing, but hey, might as well put it to use somewhere. And then this is just basically so like if I forget my kit or if I forget something a part of my kit, I'm always ready to rock and roll. And in the very front of here, I do have an extra hero clip. And I keep the extra hero clip because if I decide to take this tech panel off, which comes off pretty easily, I want to be able to clip this and add it to whatever bag or to whatever pocket I may have going on. Next to that is a Leatherman Raptor tool. This is just literally for emergency situations. Of course, this thing has a glass breaker on it. It also has it's shears, so if I need to cut open to maybe render first aid for somebody or something like that, that's why I like the Leatherman Raptor tool. But listen, there's so many replicas out here of this thing. I would be willing to give one of those a shot. It seems as long as it seems well built. But let's actually jump into this actual build itself. So let's see if we can take this off. Of course, you may not have these tools. You may have different tools or better tools, whatever. Do whatever works for you. So for my vehicle, of course, I have leather that I need to be cautious of, but let's see if I can get in here and not tear anything apart. I'm using what I have. So get in there and kind of just release these actual so you can take this entire thing off. Now I'm in a 2015 GMC Sierra. This is going to be the same installation process basically from 2014 to 2018 for GMC Sierras and Chevy Silverados. But I guarantee most of your vehicles nowadays all have these little inky dinky tabs on the back, which allows for you to access these type of areas. So what's included in this actual tech kit, you have to buy the tech kit and then you have to buy the hardware to install it. This is a 7/16 bolt on the back of this thing. And then on the other side is an actual Phillips head. So Phillips head on one side. You can get the tech kit in black, red, and blue, I believe. They might come in silver as well. And then the back of it has a 7/16 bolt, which is how you would access to take this thing off. So this is how it's on the actual lid itself. All right, so this is what the tech panel looks like when it's completely disengaged. It's a solid piece of steel, I believe, and it's very solid. You can install this in all sorts of places. So a lot of the literature on their website has it underneath the armrest, but if you find different ways to install this, imagine installing this on the lid of a Pelican or a Yeti cooler, installing this on the back of a seat. You can basically, wherever you can get an actual bolt on the rear of that actual, wherever you can get a bolt and a nut to access both sides, you can basically install this wherever you see fit. So I've been a big fan of this thing so far, but to actually install this thing, the actual hardware that comes with this stuff, You kind of just have to eyeball it and just figure out which sizing works best for you. They're going to give you all sorts of different sizes. And to create the holes, you get yourself some actual drill bits, and then you just figure out which one of these is the appropriate one. You can even still see the little bit of black on this one here because that was the drill bit for me. So this one here was a 1/4. That allowed for this actual bolt to go all the way through. You drill through your the underside of your arm panel here, and you line it all up, you drill through there, and then you just install it all together. Very pretty easy installation. You just really need one power tool. So one drill, screwdriver, some type of pry tool, and some bits, and you should be ready to rock and roll. And then you can install this and have this as extra EDC storage, which in my opinion is kind of like the secret EDC storage that no one tells you about. All right, so let's put it back together now that I've kind of shown you this thing taken apart. So one thing I would say as you're installing these things on here, don't tighten any of them with the power drill. Hand tighten the actual bolts on the back, because you're going to want to know exactly how you want the tech panel to adjust. For instance, I have in my vehicle an actual tray underneath, and this tray impedes exactly where this pouch falls. So I know I want to make sure that I slightly bolt mine in a little bit further to the right, so it's offset a little bit more, but you may want yours completely centered or to the left. Once you have it exactly where you want it, then you can go through and tighten both sides. Most people will just center theirs, and then you can, so that will make that easier. Second reason you don't want to tighten it all the way is if you tighten any of them, getting this actual spacer on the back of this thing is going to be that much harder because you've already tightened one of the nuts and bolts. So just wait till the very end. Wait till you have all 4 in, and then just zip them all together. All right, so once you have all those on there, you can go through, just make sure everything is tightened down exactly how you want it. And then you have it all tightened down exactly how you want it. It's just literally reattaching this panel back to the armrest. And the holes are already located in here, so you can see exactly where they go. And this is almost pretty much dummy proof. Should be able to just kind of, all right, so just like that, you've installed your tech panel. And then you can attach whatever accessories you want to put on here. And so you can do different pouches as long as it has molle webbing or straps or zip ties or however you want to attach this stuff here. You can even, stuff that even doesn't have it, you can figure out ways to attach that here as well. So secret weapon for your EDC is definitely the tech pouch. So the thing about the actual storage for your EDC vehicle is it's really up to you for the amount that you want to do. I've decided that Builtright Industries Solution for my truck bed and for the inside of my vehicle is the way that I want to go. But of course, you may decide that there's a different solution for it yourself. Whichever the decision is, just make sure that if you're going to think about doing EDC, if you're all about the EDC when it comes to your vehicle, make sure that you 100% think of different ways to actually organize your gear where it makes sense. I highly recommend using their system, but you can also take a look at their competitors. Whatever the case may be, carry the gear that you need, maybe the gear that you want, but don't carry any additional. Comment down below, let me know, what do you think about the Builtright Industry system when it comes to the molle system for the truck bed or for the inside of the vehicle? Do you think that they're hitting a home run with this system? Do you wish they would make it for your vehicle as well? I would love to know with your comments down below. If this is your first time stopping by the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for stopping by, watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.